Inside the Lamborghini Vision GT. The Lamborghini Vision GT is the result of unbridled creativity and the infinite possibilities offered by a universe that doesn't physically exist. There will always be enthusiasm and buzz around these Vision GT vehicles. And when you have a business like Lamborghini, that generates anticipation and excitement like no other. Something like this is always possible. Only when you felt it was right to label the recently revealed Jaguar Vision GT among the edgiest VGT vehicles to emerge from the video game motorsport program. An Italian manufacturer comes up with their own Vision GT. Overview: Lamborghini's Vision GT is the name of this vehicle. The V12 GT, for a firm renowned for creating some of the world's most aerodynamically crazy vehicles, makes them all seem like doodling on a sketch pad. It also helps that the V12 VGT has the same engine as Lamborghini's other recent innovations, such as the FKP37. The Lamborghini V12 GT, like every previous Vision GT model before it, is not slated for real-world production. In 2020, it will be included in GT Sport for the PlayStation 4. The one-seat idea debuted in real life last night and will be accessible for simulated racing this year. According to Lamborghini, the idea was created as a single-seater since a racing game only requires a driver. The driver gets into the vehicle from the front, similar to how a jet fighter pilot gets into his aircraft. There's an expansive steering wheel within the cabin, and almost all of the motor's displays are displayed on the windshield. The Vision GT, according to the manufacturer, features helically glass doors motivated by the 1968 Marzal, and the main body is visibly separated from the wheel arches. Exterior: It's primarily inspired by a fighter aircraft, right down to the front opening cockpit. There are times when there are no terms to adequately describe a vehicle. You simply have to gaze at it long enough for the vehicle to sound right, and even that doesn't always do credit to do what you're seeing. One of these vehicles is the Lamborghini Vision GT. It's obvious that it's a Lamborghini from the way it looks. However, putting the real car's design into words is tough, partially because you don't know where to start. Mitja Borkert, head of the Lamborghini design department, said that the V12 GT was developed with dynamics in mind. That's probably a good place to start. The V12 Vision GT is a single-seater track vehicle that looks futuristic and has enough aerodynamic features to make an F1 car envious. The V12 VGT doesn't have a hood. Instead, it has an extended cockpit, huge fenders, and a wide split wing that contains a Y-shaped taillight. In addition to the taillights, the V12 VGT's front end has the same lighting arrangement. These headlights are the most similar to those seen on a real Lamborghini. Everything else is a product of Lamborghini's designers and engineers' creativity. Even by Lamborghini standards, the diffuser is out of the ordinary. There's a door somewhere in that lengthy cockpit. The location of the door is unknown. However, Lamborghini claims that the entrance to the cabin is at the front, implying that its cockpit opens from the front, much like a fighter aircraft. The fighter jet-like appearance is also the result of significant weight reduction. The V12 VGT weighs just 819 kilograms, according to Lamborghini, which is 1,805 pounds. The Vision GT is unique and exotic with the type of engine configuration it has, and it's within range of the unicorn-like 1-to-1 power-to-weight ratio efficiency cred. The Vision GT is the most bizarre Lamborghini we've seen in a long time. When you consider some of Lamborghini's other recent albums, that's saying a lot. The V12 VGT, on the other hand, has the advantage of being a console game vehicle. In the actual world, you can't cheat physics, but you can definitely do so in the digital one. Interior: Even with its significant weight reduction, the Lamborghini V12 retains certain distinctive Lamborghini design elements, including as Y-shaped headlamps and full-height hexagonal side windows to aid in slipping apexes on the track. A huge split rear wing hangs over your shoulder, and the whole front portion rises to enable the driver to enter the cockpit. The inside is much more futuristic than the outside, featuring a holographic display that Lamborghini expects to be feasible within the next 10 years. Suppose you want to reduce your lap times, the Lamborghini provides intelligent, context-sensitive advice from one of the factory drivers. Because the Lamborghini V12 is the only racer, there aren't many creature amenities within the cockpit. If you're searching for a traditional Lamborghini interior, you won't find it in the V12 VGT. The V12 VGT, on the other hand, makes up for its lack of finer details with a sort of cutting-edge innovation that belongs in the realm of GT sports. The major sporting seat is a square dab in the center of the vehicle. A high-tech steering wheel sits at the front of the seat, with a profusion of buttons and at least one tiny screen in the center. A number of controls are incorporated into the steering wheel, but Lamborghini did not specify what purpose these buttons serve. A pair of paddle shifters are located on opposite ends of the steering wheel, and a tiny screen in the center of the wheel shows vital driving indicators for the driver. But it's nothing compared to the holographic projector that sits on and in front of the dashboard, which looks like a crystal. That projector is in charge of displaying additional driving information directly in front of the driver. Even the steering wheel has a one-of-a-kind design. In the Vision VGT's interior, space isn't a concern. It isn't a very roomy car, but it isn't required to be. Given its purpose and role as a racing vehicle, the Vision GT compensates for its lack of cabin room with a high-tech interior. Powertrain. The Lamborghini Vision GT is powered by the same hybridized V12 engine that powered Lamborghini's first mass-produced hybrid supercar, the CN-FKP37. A 6.5-liter engine and a 48-volt mild hybrid system combined to generate a whopping 808 horsepower in the CN-FKP37. The V12 engine produces 774 horsepower on its own, rendering it the most efficient iteration of Lamborghini's legendary V12 engine. It has 15 horsepower more than the Lamborghini, 34 horsepower more than the Lamborghini Aventador S. When you include in the 34 horsepower supplied by the 48-volt system, you're looking at a total output of 808 horsepower, with torque numbers easily exceeding 600 pound-feet. It's unknown if the hybrid power plant in the Lamborghini Vision GT has the same output. Lamborghini didn't go into those specifics, but it's fair to assume that the V12 VGT will have more power. Let's stay with 808 horsepower output and use it as a benchmark for determining the V12 VGT's performance. Lamborghini claims that the V12 VGT weighs just 819 kilograms when everything is taken into account. That places the concept racer in the realm of 1-to-1 power-to-weight ratio racers. And if you have a chance to sit behind the future wheel of the V12 VGT, you ought to be able to accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 3 seconds. I'd like to believe that the V12 VGT, like the CN, has a maximum speed of about 217 miles per hour. But keep in mind that top speed is electrically restricted in the meaningful limited edition supercar. There are no rules in GT Sport that force Lamborghini to limit the maximum speed of the V12 VGT. So go ahead and let your mind go wild with that one. The Lamborghini is definitely a vehicle from someone's mind. Bodywork. Lamborghini's Vision GT vehicle, dubbed the Lamborghini V12 and unveiled at the World Finals of the GT Championships in Monaco, is a pearl clutch's nightmare. It'll debut in virtual fun-to-drive form in GT Sport in spring next year, intended as an uncompromising, forward-thinking single-seater track vehicle. The difference here is that Lamborghini has chosen to take a scalpel to the body panels that surround it for a notion that is as much about what isn't there as what is. Based on the same hybridized V12 as the CN, which mates an energy storage system to the 12-cylinder block, the distinction here is that Lamborghini has chosen to take a scalpel to the body panels that encircle it for a notion that is as much about what is after this crash diet. The Gandini line profile remains intact and accurate, but all 4 angles have been detached, creating a floating fighter jet-inspired monoposto. Sant'Agata Bolognese calculated that the whole device would weigh just 819 kilograms, flirting with the fabled 1-to-1 power-to-weight ratio. Conclusion. I'm looking forward to seeing what the Vision GT can accomplish in Gran Turismo Sport. I'm interested to see how it compares to other Vision Gran Turismo cars such as the Jaguar VGT, which the British manufacturer revealed earlier this month. When these vehicles become accessible in the video game, there will be plenty of thrilling racing to be enjoyed. That's the part I'm looking forward to. Even better, Lamborghini said that certain tweaks are still in the works before the final version is released in Gran Turismo Sport next year. Thank you all for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe.